Be sure to subscribe, keep pounding, _TV, the best Panther YouTuber ever. I'm rocking with the big cat. Pause up. Keep pounding.
What's going on? Christian Miller here, linebacker of the Carolina Panthers. Just want to give a huge shout out to Keep Pounding TV. Keep doing what y'all are doing. Appreciate all y'all support. Everybody go subscribe right now to the YouTube channel, Keep Pounding TV. I'm rolling with the big cat.
Hey, what's happening? In the words of my man QT0, I'm your host, Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat. Cool Cat, put your balls up! If you're rocking with the Big Cat today, we're here to talk about the 4 players that the Big Cat believes are already on the hot seat before the season starts. It's getting hot in here. We'll talk about it, but first, before we get started, do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? Yes? No? Maybe. Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? If you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers with divine divination, give it that dab. We'll talk about who's on the hot seat before the season even gets started. Let's get into it.
Here we go.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Now, if you have not checked out the Carolina Panthers anthem, the one my man Chad Zilla put together, please go look at the video. The link is in the description. I'll even put it at the end of this video. Charlie Heat. He came with the Charlie Heat, y'all. Let's get this into the BOA Stadium this fall, this season. I want to hear pumped in your car. If you live in the CLT, pump it. If you're in the South Carolina, South State, Upstate, don't matter. Bump this jank straight pure fire. Now, with that being said, the Big Cat has further news we got to talk about. We got to talk about the Big Cat's top 4 players that are already on the hot seat going into the 2020 season. Now, I want to make something clear to you guys. When I say on a hot seat, really only one of these guys is in jeopardy of being unemployed. Can I be fair? Number 4 is kind of like, it's kind of like lukewarm. Number 3 is it's getting simmering. Number 2, you're starting to boil a little bit. And number 1 is red alert, okay? So keep that in mind when I go over this. Now, number 4, when it comes to the 4th player on the hot seat, it may not be fair to you guys, but I'll explain. Teddy Bridgewater, yeah, he's number 4 on the list right here. The reason why Teddy Bridgewater is 4 on the hot seat, again, he's been built up to be the perfect fit. Even when it came down to Matt Rule speaking on Cam Newton and the reason why he left, in his conversation, he brought up Teddy Bridgewater being a perfect fit. So, I mean, you're filling some large shoes there, and that guy back there, number 1. But on top of that, you're filling some shoes that the coaching staff believe in you. I mean, listen, a lot of you guys are saying, even Steve Smith said that he was a bridge quarterback. I don't think any coaching staff with a competent brain cell in their head is bringing in guys just to kind of bridge the gap. I think they're ready to win. And I think they really believe in him. Now, with that being said, he's under a little bit of heat because of that. Teddy Bridgewater has a high-power offense in front of him. Listen, one part of this team that I'm not worried about is this offense this year. We're looking at a top 10 offense. I mean, if you can't get the job done between a hell of a coach in Joe Brady, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and the best player in the league, Christian McCaffrey, if you cannot produce a wild card with that offense, you see why I'm saying you could be on the hot seat. There's no way in hell you can make me believe that this team can't be a wild card. Okay, now even though I have us going 7-9, I'm going to believe that, he has the tools to make it to at least 10 wins. Am I reaching there? But again, so if he doesn't get it done, the fact that you're walking in Cam Newton's shoes, there's going to be people are ready to put it to your ass if you can at least make it to the playoff, especially with this offense. Not only that, the coach hype you up and they believe in you. You can run a system, being efficient. There's a lot of pressure there. So, yeah, you're on the hot seat, but you're at the lower level. At best, Teddy Bridgewater gets 2. At worst, Teddy Bridgewater gets 2 seasons. So let's say Teddy Bridgewater goes out here and shit the bed. He gets 3 to 4 wins. I don't think nobody really gonna be really affected by it. I mean, like people are already expecting this guy not to make it. So all they're gonna say is, "Well, I told you so." Now, year number 2 is probably when he's gonna feel the heat a little more. You know what I mean? He'll probably move up to number 2 or number 1 on my chart. But right now, if he goes out there, he can produce a 7-win season. He's all right. Now, Teddy Bridgewater goes out there and make the wild card. You know what I mean? With a 10-win season, Teddy Bridgewater could find himself with a hell of an extension. So, little pressure there, but he's still low on my hot seat.
Hot, damn hot, real hot.
On to number 3 on my hot seat. Whew, shit, it's getting a little warm in here. Not too hot, but a little warm. Dante Jackson. Now listen, if you look at the numbers, Dante Jackson actually wasn't so bad when it comes to his rookie season. Had a sophomore slump. And let me go ahead and knock this out the park anyway, because I don't want nobody twisting my words up. Dante Jackson will be off this list shortly, because he's my bounce back player of the year. I think he will. But going into the season, he has to be on this list at number 3 on the hot seat. Now, Dante Jackson's a guy who is probably one of the most athletic cornerbacks in the league. I actually thought he was more athletic than Bradbury, you know what I mean? It's not more so about what he has the intangibles of doing. It's more so about the mental capacity. And I don't mean that he's, I'm not saying he's stupid or nothing like that. I'm saying as far as him being humble, as far as him being able to put in the work with the film study, that's what I mean when it comes to the mental capacity. That's what I mean by that. But he definitely has to really show himself, humility, humbleness in him has to come out, the willing to learn, the willing to be. I think he's in a situation to where it's either put up or shut up, okay? You know what I mean? There's no more JB back there holding it down one side. You're going to be the guy that's presumably the number one, and you're going to have to hold it down. I think he's capable of doing it, and I think he will bounce back this year right here. Dante Jackson was one of the guys who definitely caught the short end of the stick due to the All or Nothing series. You know what I mean? They painted him in a rather unpleasing light. But then, as much as he came out and said it was the series, then you show your true colors when, at the end of last season when you got into it with the interim coach. And so how much of it really was that? So if he can check his emotions, and again, I think he's just a raw, passionate guy. He's a raw, passionate guy, and I don't mind having that guy on my team. What I can't have on my team is players who don't give a fuck. When you don't give a fuck, when you go on an 80-yard chase when a wide receiver burn you, you walk off the field like, another day. That's what I can't have. So if you wanna criticize him for being overly passionate, fine. But he gives a damn, and I think he will bounce back, and I think he holds it down. This is another guy I don't expect to see on this list next year, but I definitely think he's on here this year. And there's a level of expectations, you know what I mean? Will he live up to them? I think so, but it's yet to be seen. Because of that, he's 3rd on my list.
It is 91,000 damn degrees.
Number 2 on my list is starting to boil for him. Woo! It's starting to boil like a low country boy in New Orleans. Let me tell you something, guys. And listen, I don't mean to make fun of this guy, but he definitely has to produce. He must produce for me this year, or it may be time to part ways. Ian Thomas. Yeah, in college, he only played in 2 years, had over 400 receptions, 5 touchdowns. And in 2 years with the Carolina Panthers, they're similar. Similar numbers in 2 years. 16 receptions in 2019. 16 receptions, 36 receptions in 2018. 333 yards in 2018. 136 yards last year. 2 touchdowns in 2018. 1 touchdown in 2019. 6'4", 260 pounds. Everything about this guy's build, everything about his frame, everything about his ability screams elite. If you look at it on paper, if you look at his size, you look at his ability, elite. And I don't want to hear this shit because I already know you guys' response. I know you. I know the cool cats. I see you. You guys want to yell Ron Rivera. Or you guys want to yell Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey took all the receptions. Or you got... This guy has had opportunities to flash. Let me tell you something. When you're great, no coach, no player can hold you back. You know what I mean? So he has had his opportunities, and it hasn't necessarily turned out the way it should have. He has to have a big showing, y'all. And let me be careful here. I definitely want to say I'm not giving up on him, but I know it's going to be a competition this fall when it comes to camp. I could see Seth Devalve taking over, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. He just hasn't lived up to the billing for the kind of guy that I thought we would bring in. And dare I say he's a bust when it comes to draft pick, dare I say? Or is it too late is it too late in the draft to call him that? I guess you can't call somebody a bust if they didn't get drafted until the second, third round. So again, man, he has to have a showing. I believe he has the potential, man. He has it in him. Whether it was the scheme, whether it was the system. I don't know, man. It just, he hasn't necessarily been that predecessor to Greg Olsen that I thought he was going to be. When we took this guy, I said he's going to be the predecessor, man. And it's crazy because two spots that we haven't really groomed a predecessor at are the biggest question mark. Well, one of our biggest question marks on the team. You know what I mean? When we had Cam Newton at quarterback, at some point you would have thought that we would have groomed the quarterback when it's time for him to leave. We didn't. We don't have that, and that was one of the biggest things by Ron Rivera. So that was one of his biggest things by not grooming players. I mean, look at the two biggest positions that we have, like at quarterback and tight end. We had to bring in a free agent because there wasn't one groomed to be ready to take over when Cam was going to be released, traded, or retired, whatever. It just wasn't set up that way. You know what I mean? As far as Will Greer, Kyle, or whatever. Then it turned around with Ian Thomas. When Greg Olsen left, there wasn't a tight end there. He's been there for a while, but he hasn't necessarily matured that way. So, again, man, it's a lot of questions, a lot of holes to be filled. I don't want to be disrespectful. I think he has a chance to really show out this year. You got a new fresh start, new quarterback, new system, but he definitely has to have a big year. If not, I think we may have to look at another option.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
So number one, this guy, woo, called a fire station. This guy is on fire. He needs a ladder. He needs some water. He needs some smoke detectors. He needs all of that shit right now because he's about a spliff away about being smoked up out of here. We'll talk about my man, Matt Paradis. Yeah. A guy who I went 10 toes down for when John Elway was slick shit. One of that slick shit, you know what I mean? Calling them all kind of, he wasn't worth it, yada, yada, yada. John Elway got reckless with it. Coming off that injury, again, and listen, I want to taper you guys' expectation when it comes to bringing in free agents. The last couple of free agents we brought in, I think a lot of you guys had big expectations. And this goes for Teddy Bridgewater as well. When it came to Gerald McCoy, when it came to Bruce Irvin, a lot of these guys came in and they expected these guys just to be monsters and just dominate the league. Came in and had a so-so season. All right. So with that being said, if you look at our free agent acquisition and their production after they get here in their first year, hasn't been good. Matt Paradis got here in his first year, then produced. So if this continues to trend, what does that say for Teddy Bridgewater? Bringing in free agents in their first year. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. If you didn't get it, you'll just go back and watch. But when it comes to Matt Paradis, again, his first year wasn't that was really bad. One of the worst centers in the league when it comes to pass rush being allowed. Was it him coming off that healed leg? Was it fully healed? Was it still ball to him? Was it the chemistry or the continuity? You know what I mean? Was it him not having familiar reps with Kyle Allen? Maybe he would take him all with Cam during the offseason. I don't know, but this guy has the weight of the world on his shoulder. And listen, I mean, he almost, can I be honest with you, he has Teddy Bridgewater's future in his hand as well. I mean, if he doesn't solely get better at pass blocking, you know what I mean, and Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have time, I mean, both of you guys are going to be, in a bad position here. You know what I mean? So, again, I like to think that it was just a 1 year, just adjustment period. But for the amount of money that he received on his contract and the years, you gotta start producing, and you gotta produce like right now. You know what I mean? They brought in a couple of your guys that you used to play with, Russell Kong, Schofield. I mean, you're in a good position here. There's no reason, I'm gonna say it again, that this offense should not be a top 10 offense. And it starts up front with the protection. But you cannot come in here and be last when it comes to pressure. I mean, that just is unacceptable. Now, you cannot have to happen 2 years in a row. So, I don't know, man. He's definitely number one on my list. If it does not change, he could be the fuck up out of here. I'm your host, Gordon Gato, also known as the Big Cat. My cougar, put your paws up. If you rock with the Big Cat, tune in tonight at 9:30. As I said once more, I want to hear from you guys. Who's on the hot seat already before the season start? That's my take. Make sure you like the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Tune into this awesome banger at the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you play it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you love it. Let's get up out of it. Let the church say, dab. All down. sure to check out On the Live Show Radio. Check out the latest Christian hip hop / R&B. Be sure to also subscribe to the YouTube channel.